Hey everyone, welcome to my video. Today I'm excited to showcase my digital twin house, a smart home setup that I've been building over the past 6 months, on and off. My name is Ahmed, and this project has been a labor of love. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments, and I'll make a follow-up with a full walkthrough. Let me know if you'd like any tweaks as well. So one of the biggest challenges I faced with this smart home was managing devices across 3 levels, as you can see. Keeping track of everything became difficult without a digital twin, so I decided to model this entire home down to the inch to match the real thing. So let's begin. On the top right, you can see this is my office, master bedroom, then 2 rooms, then the living room, and of course a garage and a garden. The first thing you'll notice would be the evening. It is now evening, and this is the evening view. So if I go to the back end and force this to become a day view, you will see that this is the uh, morning view. It will show like this, and then in the evening it will turn back to where it was. So let's begin talking about the office. I have here a ceiling LED which I can turn on. You can see the light on my face is on, and here I have as well a lampshade. I can turn on and off. I can play around with the intensity, and it reflects on digital twin as well. I can turn this back off. I have the AC thermostat. I can play around with the temperature. Now it's on 23, so I can put this to 22, and it's going to reflect here as you've seen. I have also a humidity sensor showing the humidity levels in my office. And what else? So moving on, in my master bedroom, I have another AC which is currently off. I have a ceiling light that I can also turn on. I have a lampshade as well that I can turn on and off. And I also have the current reading of temperature in the room. So in the second floor, I have 2 rooms. They're currently running the ACs as well on 23. The room here is 24, so this should drop down in some time. Then in the game room, I have another ceiling light that I can turn on like this, and I have a camera that I can click and view what's going on. I have a battery sensor for the second floor camera, currently running at 80% charge, and I also have a PlayStation. We're gonna see that more on that later. Now, moving on to the um, bottom or G floor. This is where I have as well 2 cameras. I'm gonna view that one, which is the front view of my home, and as well as I have a garage or doorbell camera, and you can see here is my car, the same car that is on the digital twin modeled in 3D. Because it's evening, so it's kind of gray, but in the morning it has a better visibility. And then we have the TV, which is showing what's playing. We have also another AC thermostat, which is currently off. We have the kitchen light, which is I can toggle as well from here and toggle back off. I have another camera which I can view, another battery, same device setup that I have. Now, moving on to now, so if I want to zoom into a specific room and see exactly what's going on, I can also have zoomed in view. So I'm going to go to the office now, and this is the office setup, and you can see now the real image and how I modeled the actual image versus the 3D model. You have another same AC but with different zoomed in view. I have here my Raspberry Pi readings. I can click here, see the for example the share, media drive share. I can see the RAM view and so on and so forth. And this is running right now at 41% as I'm recording the video and playing around with digital twin, so the CPU is slightly high than usual. I have also here the uh, ceiling LED, same one we've seen earlier, but in the zoomed view. I'll turn this back off. I have the lights here again on maximum. I can turn this down a little bit. I have here another Hugo I can turn on, play around with the color. You can see this is a little bit changed the color to the violet. Here is more on orange green. I have here the floor LED. I can turn this back off and back on. I have my printer. I can see all of the uh, cartridge utilization, yellow colors and whatnot, and if the printer is printing or not at the moment. I have also my Alexa device or the Echo Show, which I can also play media on using the same smart home setup. And I have the same desktop PC which I'm using now, and certainly I'm not going to shut it down because this is where we are recording. Alright, so let's move on to the master bedroom, and I'm not going to show you the master bedroom for the sake of privacy, of course, in the real image, but same what we've seen. This is another Echo device, but this is Echo Dot. AC is off, the light on and off, and here again increase and decrease the brightness. This is the game room where I can see what my son is doing, so I can see that he is playing Spider-Man right now as we speak. And this is also the AirPlay on the Hisense TV, which I can also control and change the source if I want, but I'm not going to do that. I can also turn on and off the PlayStation from here. So my living room is as well showing right now the TV. I can change the source from here, and it will reflect also on my digital twin. So let's try that to let's say YouTube. Let's see if that works. Sometimes it's glitchy. No, it's not. So it's good. So it's working fine. Change the source in real time. And here I have another camera. I have another AC from Honeywell. And here I have the kitchen lights. They are now off, so I can make them on. You can see here they have changed. I can change the color, but since this is a day render, you can hardly see the changes on the lights, but now you can see it is off. Okay, so moving on to the last view, which is my network view. I have a somewhat complex network that I have built, a mesh Wi-Fi in the first two floors, which I further stretched into the third floor. And you can see here the starting from the left, you have my internet downlink and uplink. You can click here. You can see the history of my edge router, if you will. The upload, same thing. I have my public IP, which is masked for privacy reasons. And then I have, unfortunately, a managed Nokia ONT by my ISP, which I'm unable to access. And if I click here, I can see the login page, which I don't have the credentials for. And this I cannot manage from my smart home. It is sitting on a separate subnet that is allocated by my ISP. However, I am having this as my WAN IP to my first managed network device by Linksys. And if I click here, I can access my Linksys and change the configuration if I want. And this is linked to a child node into the mesh system in the second floor. Here I have my TVs, I have my setup box, another Android setup box. I have my second TV, I have my PlayStation, which is taking an IP of 72 from the network. And on the top floor, I have my flashed router. I flashed it using OpenWRT. And if I click here, I can also log in into that. I have my desktop, which I'm using right now, taking this IP from my network. So as you can see, it is very easy to figure out which device quickly has taken which IP. And yes, of course, I do have DHCP static leases on some devices, but not every device. I prefer to keep some devices without a lease. This is because, for example, the rotating MAC address that you can have on some devices, again for security. And this is my Raspberry Pi, and this is my B-Link media server that is connected via SMB to most of my other devices like my PC and my main TV, which I can stream media from that device over SMB. And that's about it. I hope you liked my video, and I look forward to your comments on how we can improve this. And if you like what you've seen, let me know, and I'll start building a full walkthrough for this video. Thank you.